When CJ and I started this podcast, if nothing else, I thought, hey, you can step out of your comfort zone a little bit, grow a little bit as a person, watch some movies that you've never seen before that definitely weren't made for you, and maybe try to learn something. Little did I know that a movie from 2000 that I've seen multiple times and loved would cause me to look back and have more introspection and think more about who I was as a person when this movie came out than this one did. Welcome to You've Got Mails. Today we'll be discussing 2000's High Fidelity. In 2000's era, Jason, get your shit together. My top 5 favorite words. Coming in at number 5, you've. It's 2 words in one. Why not? You get a bonus word in there. It's great. Contractions, always wonderful. Coming in at number 4, got. Short, simple, it's to the point. Number 3, males. It's strong, it's masculine, it's a good word. Coming in at number 2, Jason. It's me. Of course it's amazing. I love it. Coming in at number 1 in my top list of favorite words, CJ. He's great. He's my favorite. I wouldn't want to do a podcast with anybody else. Put them all together. Welcome to You've Got Mails, everybody. I'm Jason. I'm here with CJ. And on today's episode, we're talking about...
High five it with me.
High five. On today's episode, we'll be talking about 2000's High Fidelity. CJ, have you ever seen this movie before?
I had seen it before and remembered very little to nothing about it.
I went on a journey with this movie.
Oh, yeah?
I said it last week when we rolled it that I loved this movie and I was excited to do it. I haven't seen this movie since like mid to like late 2000s, like college age, young, dumb, and full of you-know-what Jason was out in the world.
Probably about the same here.
Loved this movie, but he also loved Reservoir Dogs and Scarface and shit like that. And then I watched this movie over the weekend, and all I can say is I've grown as a person.
Does this movie go on the incel list?
This is like the original incel to me. Like,
yeah.
John Cusack plays Rob Gordon. He is probably one of the first incels.
I had a feeling this was going to come up a little bit. I have some defenses against it, but I definitely see where you're coming from.
Yeah, and he's a villain through and through. But they don't sugarcoat it. He's a bad guy, and he knows he's a bad guy. You know he's a bad guy. Everybody knows he's a bad guy. I guess my main problem is that everything still works out for him in the end.
The thing, you know what it is? He has growth in this movie. He somehow develops a conscience.
Very little growth.
I think the idea of this character is if you don't think he's a bad guy, then you're the bad guy.
And that's what I'm
you're
saying.
The incel.
When I was a younger man and I loved this movie, I was like, wow, he's so cool. Like, this guy's the coolest guy.
Have you ever read The Catcher in the Rye? The original incel? It is basically The Catcher in the Rye, but with Jack Black in it. Like, it's just a guy who blames all of his troubles on the women around him and the people around him. Nobody understands him.
Well, thank God for Jack Black, because everything's better with little Jack Black, and he fucking turned in a performance in this movie.
Oh, thank God. I thought you were going to be one of those I hate Jack Black.
No,
people.
I love Jack Black and everything he does.
Look,
and
let's talk right to everybody out there. You can be in 2 camps. You can be the, I think Jack Black's great camp, or you can be in the Jack Black never did anything wrong to me camp. He's not a bad guy. You can't say that you hate him.
No, there's
no reason to hate him.
I'd be surprised if there's anybody out there that hates Jack Black.
Exactly. I've heard it. I've heard it this week talking about this movie. Oh, fucking Jack Black. Show me on the doll where Jack Black touched you.
And even he's kind of an annoying asshole in this movie, yeah. But I love him anyway.
He's never done anything malicious in his life.
So let's get into it. This movie focuses on Rob Gordon, played by John Cusack. And it kind of chronicles, he's in the midst of a breakup as we meet him, and he kind of breaks down, much like I did in the beginning of the episode. He's a big list maker, loves his top 5 list, and he goes through his top 5 breakups and tries to find out what went wrong with all of them. Spoiler alert, it's him. And just kind of like reconnects with these women and to see where they're at now in life and kind of ask the question, why didn't this work out? All while, we meet Rob very first scene. He's breaking up with his live-in girlfriend at the time, Laura.
With the worst accent I've ever heard. I get it. She's Danish in real life.
Is she?
Boy, she drifted in and out of that like a boat on the water.
I looked her up, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce what her real name is, because it was...
Yeah. Lovely actor, but...
Yeah.
Good Lord, she just couldn't keep it together.
No. So we get, our first scene where, they're breaking up. And of course, this guy is just sitting in a chair with his headphones on, listening to a record. The most petty bullshit I've ever seen. Like, she's breaking up with you and you've decided to, like, just crank your music up and sit in the room. So she comes over, unplugs the headset, says she's leaving. And then he's like, oh, you got to leave right now? Like, well, you can't stay a little bit. Just stay the night. Let's see how that goes.
Can I at least finish this song?
Yeah. So she grabs her stuff, leaves. He swings the window up, yells out, and just starts berating her from the top floor while she's on the street. God, he's such a dick in this movie. Like, everything about him.
Yeah.
But, and he says to her, you should have got to me sooner if you wanted to mess me up, trying to get a little
He's trying to hurt her.
Yeah. Meanwhile, he's emotionally seems abusive and is just all over the place with his feelings and his emotions. Like, 1 minute he's there with the headset on, not even paying attention. Then he's crying, trying to beg her to stay. Then once that doesn't work, he's screaming out the window at her. Ugh, I don't like him in this movie. That's why I was watching this and I was like, it's hard to find an unlikable John Cusack. Like,
I mean, even as being the lesser Cusack, he's still pretty damn good.
I love me some John Cusack, and I like this movie. Like, I'm not going to say I don't like this movie, but not watching
That's what I mean.
Watching it through a different lens, if you will, than when I did when I was younger. It kind of took me on a roller coaster.
Well, when you were younger, no doubt you were probably pining for a girl or had broken up with a girl. And a lot of this guy's tactics were the same things that your like 19, 20-year-old mind would go through. Like, maybe if I did this, it would work. Maybe if I did that. Because you were an idiot.
Well, that was part...
Like, we were all idiots back then.
That was part
We're all idiots now, but to a lesser extent.
That was part of my roller coaster as I watched this, because several places in my notes, in one variation or another, I wrote, this guy is me. And it was killing me because, like, I still am 42 years old and I still found myself pining after girls and having issues in relationships and, like, still go through, like, the same feelings that this guy goes through. I like to think I handled them better. Like, I'm not this guy, but I would say I'm a person whose emotions at times, I don't know what to do with them. So, I obsess. I act like this guy sometimes. And
Well, at some point in your life, you realize that in these breakups, you were also the problem.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And that's his problem, is he is actually looking for growth in this movie. He is going back to these ladies and trying to figure out what went wrong without ever realizing the answer's him.
I might fight you.
He's what went wrong.
I might fight you on that because we're gonna have to we're gonna have to go through these women. So normally I hate this in a movie. John Cusack is so good at this, and he speaks to the camera.
He breaks the fourth wall.
Breaks the fourth wall constantly. So this entire movie, you're on this ride with John Cusack. You're in the room with him, He's pulling that Zach Morris Saved by the Bell bullshit where he's just talking to you while there's other stuff going on in the background and nobody even notices.
So this was actually something the director forced him into doing.
Really?
He did not want to break the fourth wall. He just wanted to do it with overdubbing, like a voiceover.
Yeah.
Doing the exposition, all that stuff.
Yeah.
They had to talk him into it.
I think it was a great choice.
Well, I just don't want my face. Like, he's like, why are you just going to have my face talking at the camera for a good chunk of this movie? And then at the end, he said, damn, it was good.
And this is based on a book I'm sure you probably saw about a real life guy, a guy's real life issues and like kind of like an semi-autobiographical. So, in that book, you're getting this from the character. You're getting this talking to you.
Yeah.
So I really thought it worked well in this movie. I didn't hate it. But, after Laura leaves, we start with this breaking the fourth wall, and he kind of goes through and says, top 5 breakups of all time. You get a little flashback of every girlfriend that he's been with, at different times. You get number 1 on the list, which was a girl named Allison. It was his junior high, first girlfriend he ever had. They dated, according to him, for 6 hours, and it was 2 hours every day after school just making out.
Yes.
So from the beginning, you were not a very good person because you only considered that you were dating this girl while you had your tongue in her mouth. There was no other, it wasn't like 3 days. It was just 6 hours over the course of 3 days that you guys made out.
He was even younger and dumber.
That was your first girlfriend. On the 4th day, he came back to the bleachers where they spent every day making out after school. She was with Kevin Bannister, new guy. And that was his first breakup.
Yeah, I have it right here on my list. Fuck Kevin Bannister.
No, good for Kevin Bannister.
I have multiple men's
Allison.
names on this. There's fuck Kevin Bannister, fuck Marco.
I do have fuck Marco on my notes.
Fuck Ian.
Yeah, Ian's an asshole too.
Yeah. Fuck Bruce Springsteen. Well, I don't.
What? Why?
We'll get to it.
I don't even like Bruce Springsteen, and I thought that was a decent cameo. So we got Allison. Then we go to his second girlfriend, who was like a high school girlfriend, Penny. They were like 16, I think she says, later on when they dated. And Rob is just utterly and completely, as any 16-year-old boy would be, obsessed with sex and just trying to get a feel of anything. Yes. And Penny is not really into that. You know, there's multiple scenes of them making out where he's trying to put his hand under her shirt, on her legs, and she's constantly pushing him away. So at this point, he breaks up with her because, you know, he kind of says, well, what's the point of going out if we're not going to ever do anything? You know,
what a prick.
Another horrible move by Rob.
Yes.
All right.
But as you look back, you're like, damn it, this is a move I might have made.
Like I said, I'm not proud, but a lot of the things I saw in this movie, I was like, this is me. No wonder I related to this movie and liked this movie at a time in my life. Number 3 on the list is Charlie. Smoke show, Catherine Zeta-Jones.
She's been number 3 on my list for like 24 years.
So, and Charlie is just the coolest girl in school. This is the college girlfriend. Everything she says is interesting. He hangs on every word. She's too cool for him. So he is inferiority complex. Like, he doesn't think he's good enough because she is so... he puts her on a pedestal above all other women. And she's just the best thing that ever came along. And he is constantly feeling inadequate about how interesting he is, his sexual performance, constantly worrying that she's going to leave him for someone more in her league.
Yes.
Which eventually does happen, and that's Marco. We find out that she leaves him for a guy named Marco who works in her studio. And then we get just another scene to show what an awful person he is, just out in the street outside of her apartment. And he says, Charlie, you fucking bitch, we can work this out. Woo. Which, if you're trying to work things out, you usually don't start with that. That's not the go-to.
It's not the best move.
Not the first thing you say. From there, we get Sarah, who's number 4 on the list. Sarah is a rebound breakup. And I'm pretty sure we've all been through this as well, where you come out of a relationship. He had just broken up with Charlie. He's sad and lonely. He meets another girl who just came out of a relationship. She's sad and lonely. Misery loves company. I wouldn't say they actually are dating because he kind of says, you know, we just decided that we would spend time together, sleep together, but not actually be together.
But he falls for her anyway. At least enough to be heartbroken when she leaves. As
much as he can. I wouldn't even say he was heartbroken. He was just mad about it.
It got on the top 5 list.
Yeah, he did. She did get on the top 5 list. So she tells him that she's actually met someone and just kind of like, no big deal. Like, we weren't really dating. I actually met somebody now. I'm going to go and actually be in a relationship and not just whatever this is. He gets indignant about that. And she leaves. And then we come to number 5 on the list, who he tells us is a girl named Jackie. But there is a Jackie, but she's not number 5 on the list.
No.
He just doesn't want to give Laura, the girl he just broke up with, a spot on the list. He's not going to, give her what's the word I'm looking here for, CJ?
He's not going to give her the respect.
Satisfaction. He's not going to give her the satisfaction.
Now, let me ask you something.
Go ahead.
Because I thought about this after all 5 of these stories. These are 5 distinct types of assholes that he's playing. Are you one of these types? Did you feel closer to one of... Like, I could tell you right off. I'll tell you mine.
Okay.
Would be number 3, Charlie. Like, I'm the guy that it took me a long time to realize this. Any girl I was with, I had on a pedestal, and I thought way too highly of them. Not that you shouldn't think highly of somebody you're with, but so highly that I felt undeserving at all times.
Okay.
And that had cost me relationships.
Okay.
So, like, that was one I related with the best. And I think that was kind of the idea, was showing this guy he's so bad, he's 5 types of bad boyfriend in one shot.
So, as I said, there are multiple times on my notes where I wrote, I am this guy, or this is so relatable, because I, much like John Cusack, think I am all kinds of different kinds of asshole. At least in points of my life. Like, I can see all these things. Like, the only one I wouldn't say I ever was the second one. Like, I've never broken up with a girl or not because it didn't seem like physically there was nothing happening. Like, that was not...
No, if the relationship's good, you're willing to wait.
I would not do that. Yeah, that's not a thing I would do or ever would do. But other than that, no, I can relate to a lot of these different...
Yeah, this movie was really good at just crippling my self-esteem, but also making me feel like I've grown as a human.
Well, that's the thing. Like I said, I mean, I look back at like 2000s era me and was just like, ugh. So from here we get, we kind of get some secondary characters. We find out that John Cusack owns a record store. And if nothing else, I will say that this movie is going to be hard to touch in terms of soundtrack and music, because this movie is a music lover's dream. Music plays such a central part in this. He's constantly making mixtapes, songs that he loves that are associated with someone else. And I'm real big on this. Like, I can hear a song and it'll take me somewhere. I mean, I shouldn't say it like I'm special. That's probably anybody. But certain songs just remind me of certain time periods in my life, certain people, girls I've dated, big events in my life. Or just sometimes I can just hear a song and just be like, I remember I was driving from here to here that day with the window down. I was just feeling real good about myself. Like, things were feeling real good.
First warm day of the year, you roll down those windows, you throw in Sublime every time.
Yeah, absolutely. There's just certain songs, certain kinds of music that fit certain moods, and it's because of experiences that in your life that you've had with those kinds of music. But he owns a record store, and we're introduced to the two guys that work there. Jack Black, who plays Barry, who's just pretty much just a abrasive, loud,
abrasive is a great word.
Forces his opinions on everyone.
He's a stereotype record store guy.
Well, they all are. It's the other thing. They're all just so pretentious, and there's such a feeling of gatekeeping in this movie when it comes to like these guys. Like, these are like, we don't listen to mainstream music because it's not cool. And unless you're talking to me about like a 4th edition printed and like with a weird cover on it and like,
yeah,
what I like, they're like, you don't know what you're talking about. So they're all just kind of music nerds and very much just fucking incels. Like
gatekeeping's the one sin I can't get into.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. You like what you like.
You like what you like. That's why every time I hear Billy Joel's in the middle of the night, I get into it, man.
I hate Nickelback, as I'm sure many people do. But also, do you know that they've sold more albums than anyone from the years 2000 to 2010? They're doing something right. And I'm not going to sit here and if you like listen to Nickelback, be like, well, you don't know what you're talking about. Because, I mean, they're doing something.
I'm not going to go to the show with you.
It's like that with anything. It's like pop culture in general. Like, I don't like the Big Bang Theory, but people love it. And it's like, that show was huge. Like, people love that show.
Somebody's into it.
And like, it's just not everybody's cup of tea. It's not everybody's type of comedy. But people like it, so good on you. If it makes you feel good and it's not hurting anybody else, I don't give a shit what you listen to.
Official motto, you got mails. No gatekeeping.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love
you. Do you.
I love that you love whatever you love, as long as that's not some sick, depraved bullshit. Okay? We meet Barry, and then we meet Dick, who is just kind of like quiet, maybe a little bit aloof, but other than that, like not a bad guy. Like he's probably the most normal person in this movie as far as just like, I mean, yeah, you can tell he's shy and he's kind of a nerd, but that's just who he is, and that's fine. He's a good person.
He's nerdy.
Yeah. So there's not really nothing bad to say about Dick. Can't say a bad word about Dick, CJ.
Not at all.
So, we get the record store, kind of get a glimpse into his like work life and, what he's doing. And then we get our first appearance from the better Cusack.
Yes.
Joan Cusack, who not enough time in this movie.
Well, she's not enough time in any movie.
Well, yeah, I know. But I really
Where's our Joan Cusack? Is there any Joan Cusack movies where she stars?
I don't think so. I think Joan Cusack has serious...
We're going to have to look this up. We have to find the
co-star energy. Yeah. Like, I don't think I don't know that she's been a lead in anything. But if it's out there, we'll find it and we'll put it on the list. And she calls on the phone just to say, well, she actually leaves a message on his voicemail that he hears just saying, hey, I'm not picking sides because she's friends with both of them, him and Laura. And it's just kind of like, I'm just calling to make sure you're okay. You're both my friends. I'm checking in.
I think she plays probably the most adult responsible person in this group, in this circle.
And she has a very valid reaction later in the movie, which we'll get to.
Yes.
So the next day he calls her from the record store, just kind of like talks to her, says, hey, I really appreciate you calling. And she goes, no, I think you guys were really good together. And I don't really like this Ian guy. And that's kind of like, we're like, who the fuck is Ian? Like, where, and this is exactly what John Cusack said. Who the fuck is Ian?
Yeah.
So he's kind of racking his brain to figure out who Ian is and who she's seeing now that he doesn't know about. We come to find out that he is a guy that like lived in the building right above him.
That they used to listen to have sex at night.
Yes, and he would have sex for a long time, according to them. And he moved out a few weeks before Laura moves out. He comes to find out that they're dating. Ian, in a real weird cameo, I thought, by Tim Robbins. Right? Yeah.
Do you know why he was in this movie?
For the wig.
For the wig.
Yeah. So he wears an absolutely terrible wig in this. And it was this movie, and also he did a cameo in Anchorman, where he agreed to do the cameos for very little pay because they agreed to make him custom wigs.
That he could keep after the movie.
And so he basically worked for a wig.
Yeah.
And now he wears them for Halloween, and I think that's fantastic.
Honestly, like, I had nothing against Tim Robbins before this. He goes up like 3 or 4 points in my book.
Yeah,
I'm
guy's
like,
just out here working for wigs. Like, I mean, hell yeah. So we find out that, she's dating Ian. And then we find out Joan Cusack, who plays the friend in both of the, to both of these people, she walks into the record store a day or two later just to tell him, basically scream at him.
Like berate him, yeah, right in front of everybody.
Just walks in, looks at him, goes, "You're a fucking asshole," and then walks out. And we get a little more of John Cusack talking to the camera, telling us exactly why she probably thinks that he's an asshole.
Yeah, he gives the reasons.
He says that, Laura probably told her anywhere between 2 and 4 things that would make her think he was an asshole. And they're all pretty big.
Yes, they are.
So number 1 is he cheated on her. Number 2 is that when he cheated on her, she was pregnant. He didn't know this.
He did not know.
It led her to have an abortion, terminate the pregnancy. Number 3, after they worked through the fact that he had cheated on her and they were in a good place, as he says, she breaks down and tells him that she had an abortion. He does not handle that well and, berates her.
Like he was ready to have a kid.
Yeah, exactly. And then number 4, which I feel like might be the most forgivable of all the sins, is he borrowed $4,000 from her and hasn't paid it back yet.
Yes.
Which, I mean, they were still living together. I don't know, like, she's a lawyer. I mean, she offered the money, apparently willingly.
Now, the thing I love about this list is he says this list really fast, and it shows how much of a prick he is.
Yeah.
But then, very next scene, they sort of turn it around a little bit, and they're not saying like, oh, it was actually her fault this whole time, but he gives a little bit more perspective on all 4 of these things, and it actually muddies the waters a little bit.
It does to a degree. They don't really ever get into the cheating thing. Like, he doesn't really say like who he cheated on, why. He didn't know she was pregnant at the time, which is supposed to make you feel better about it. I don't care about that. Like, you cheated. Like, it doesn't matter if you're pregnant or not.
That is a relationship ending move, and if you're still in a relationship after you do that, you are lucky.
Yeah. Now, as a guy, if you were with someone and they were pregnant and terminated the pregnancy without letting you know, I could see why you would be upset. Also, there's better ways to handle it than the way he handled it, which was like a petulant child, just like yelling at her in the middle of a park.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of your fault anyway.
But it's a very muddy, murky situation. It's hard to define who's the...
I have a hard time defending him in this.
It is. No. It is definitely he's in the wrong for most of this.
Yeah.
But much like real life, there's a lot of odd emotion wrapped up in all of this.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know all the story, and I think that's what shows when Joan Cusack comes in and starts yelling.
Yeah.
Is she now knows the story that's in front of her.
Yeah, she got one side of the story.
She's reacting to it.
Yeah, she got one side of the story. I don't care how he sugarcoats it. There's not a whole lot of making him look like a good person after everything that he did. But so we get that little thing. We find that out. And this is kind of when he decides to find out like why all of his relationships have gone poorly. So he reaches out to like each woman individually, and we can kind of go through each one and talk about it. The first one he calls is Allison, the high school sweetheart. He doesn't have the junior high school sweetheart, the girl from the bleachers. Doesn't really have a good way to get a hold of her, so he calls her old home. So I guess he remembers the phone number. I don't know, but he gets a hold of her mom, the mom lets him know that Allison ended up marrying Kevin Bannister,
Yeah.
the boy that, that he walked in on that day at the bleachers and she was making out with. So, she married the grade school sweetheart, junior high sweetheart. And this is fucking John Cusack. God, I hate his character so much.
What a dumb little conversation. He could have just hung up and been like, okay.
He argues with her, first of all. He's like, oh, I was her first boyfriend. And she goes, oh, no, she married her first boyfriend. Kevin Bannister's like, oh, I beg to differ. Like, we dated for 6 hours. I had my tongue in your daughter's mouth for 3 consecutive days, 2 hours at a day. And argues with her. And she's like, and the mom, God bless her, she's like, oh, maybe I'm mistaken. I don't know. Goodbye, Rob. I have to go. Like, I can't have this phone conversation.
That's the correct move.
But then what he takes from this is, she married him. It's not my fault. Like, I wasn't the reason that we broke up. It was fate. Like, she was meant to be with this guy. And this is where we get tell me your feelings about Bruce Springsteen, CJ, because we get a little. Yeah, he kind of has this, talking to the camera, saying that, he's gonna track down all these ex-girlfriends, and see where they're all at, and it's gonna be like a Bruce Springsteen song, and then we get a little cameo of Bruce Springsteen like strumming a guitar, kind of like backing him up.
Okay, I got nothing against Bruce.
Okay,
he's a world-renowned artist.
Okay,
pretty great guy. The thing I hated about this cameo was it was just a Bruce Springsteen cameo. Like, in a movie that is about music.
Yeah.
They could have probably added about 2 or 3 more cameos just to make that a thing.
Yeah. Do you know
Instead, it just, they were going to get Bob Dylan.
They wanted Bob Dylan, yeah.
But instead, it just seemed like this shoehorned thing where they're like, hey, we have access to Bruce Springsteen. Let's put him in there for a minute and a half. Like, either do that sort of thing or don't. But just don't have, like, one weird Bruce Springsteen cameo.
I liked it.
Did
I
you?
don't know why, yeah. And I completely forgot about it. Like, I don't think 2000s me gave a shit about Bruce Springsteen. Not that I care that much about him now, but I'm a little more appreciative of his music and, like, who he is as a person. So that cameo completely not in my brain anywhere when I was remembering this movie. So it was kind of a cool, like, I was like, oh, shit, they got Bruce Springsteen for this movie. That's kind of neat. But I didn't mind it. Like, I liked that. I thought it was cool. Because this is very much, a lot of it is just, Rob's character talking to you and kind of like his thoughts. And like, it was like he was envisioning Bruce Springsteen write this song about what he was about to do. And it was just kind of like the way he was seeing it.
Okay.
Which I didn't dislike. So from there, he goes out on his quest to like find these other girls. And he goes through the order of the list. Next up is Penny. Penny was the girl that would not sleep with him. This
is probably the only time in this movie I almost cried. Like, her story is fucking tragic.
It's tragic, and it made me hate Rob even more. So he meets up with her, and it actually seems really nice at first. Like, they go see a movie together, they reconnect. He finds out that she's a movie reviewer, which really seems to do it for him. This is another thing I don't like about his character, is he's so infatuated with people's interests, and like, he's the kind of person that like what you like, and he even says it at one point, like what you like defines you.
Yes.
Is how he treats people.
Oh, that's a good point.
So if you like what he likes,
he's a gatekeeper.
He's a gatekeeper. Like, The Big Bang Theory sucks, but like this comedy is next level, so this is the best thing. Like, that's what he wants, that next level person. He doesn't want you. He doesn't want somebody who's into like the generic, like normal stuff. He wants like that next level. He thinks you're more deep if you like less known about things. So
you're gonna get to the end of Citizen Kane, and you're gonna fucking hate yourself for watching it for 3 hours. It's a terrible movie. Don't listen to the gatekeepers, people.
So he meets her, and it seems like he's almost interested in dating her again. They really seem to be doing well. They go out for dinner, and this is kind of where he drops the bomb on her. Like, hey, what happened with us? Like, why didn't we work out? You didn't want to have sex with me, and then like a week later you had sex with some other guy. And this is where she tells him, like, well, first of all, you dumped me. Yes. And like, we see this in his flashback. So why he's not sure why it didn't work out, he's completely aloof to the fact that he is the problem. Because obviously he knows that he dumped her, because he recaps it for us in the beginning of the movie. And then she tells him that, the guy that she slept with, she didn't get raped, but she said it was pretty damn close.
It was, it was enough to
because really she was so heartbroken over like Rob dumping her, because she really liked Rob. She was so heartbroken over that, and then just was tired and like didn't want to deal with it. And like, it's like she gave consent, but like didn't really want to do what she did. So like her first time having sex, this girl who was trying not to have sex because she wanted to wait until later, ended up having sex because of Rob, and it was a really bad experience for her. And then she even says, she's like, I didn't have sex for like years after that because it was so bad. And then she gets up crying and walks out. And Rob's like, that's right. I dumped her.
This is the first time
I'm not the problem.
This guy a sociopath?
He's like, I'm not the problem. And they play it for laughs. And I'm like, this girl just made a horrifying confession to you. And you're very excited about it.
Yeah, I felt that, man. That whole scene hurt, and then his reaction to it. Like, that's why I'm saying, like, I can defend some of this movie, but I can't defend that.
Oh, God, it was brutal. Like, I just, makes my skin crawl, like the kind of person he is in this. From there, he reaches back out. Well, he calls Charlie, Catherine Zeta-Jones's character. She doesn't answer, so he leaves a voicemail and just says, hey, it's Rob. Seeing how you're doing, how things are going. Probably won't ever hear from you. Leaves that alone, and then he moves on to Sarah, who is the girl that was the rebound breaker.
Yes.
They were both rebounds.
Well, she was awesome. I can't remember her name.
Lily.
Lily
something is the actress's name. I'm sorry. Lily Collins, I think, is her name.
Lily Collins. She's great.
Yeah, she is really good. And, they get together, and Rob kind of sees that, like, she's not in a great place. Like, she just came out. They're basically right back to where they were. He's coming out of a breakup, so is she's having a real tough time. Like, she kind of mentions that she's on some medications and things. Kind of get the sense maybe there's, like, some depression or some mental issues. And then, she's kind of putting out feelers. Like, well, how about you? Are you dating anybody?
Yeah, they could end up in the exact same situation.
Exactly. And I guess this maybe shows a little bit of growth.
This is it. This is the very first time.
This is a little bit of growth from Rob where he even walks her back to her apartment and then walks away from her door as she's still standing there and starts talking to the camera again. It's like, I could have just slept with her right now, but I don't want to be that guy. Like, I don't want to be, I don't want to go back into that same situation. That would be just sad and depressing. So he's somewhat self-aware.
Is hard to do. As a guy, and I'm sure you could hopefully agree with this, is you don't remember every time you've ever had sex, but you remember every time you didn't. Where like it was where that was about to happen and you for some reason decided it wasn't going to. I remember every single one of those.
All right, it's fair. So he leaves Sarah, and then we get Charlie calls him finally and kind of says to him, well, this is a kind of a pattern lately. I've had a lot of ex-boyfriends coming out of the woodwork. So, what is this? Like, are we friends? Do you want to be friends and hang out? Or is this like one of these things where you're on some kind of like search for meaning? And he
calls him out.
Yeah. And of course he lies. He's like, no, let's be friends. Like, let's hang out. So she invites him to a dinner party. At the end of the dinner party, he shows his true colors and why didn't this work out? And she basically just tells him, like, you were kind of boring and, like, you seemed, like, so concerned about not being good enough and, like, you just weren't what I wanted.
I really love that part. Like I said, I related to this relationship probably the most. And I really love that part where he realizes, like, oh, I just don't like her. Like, she's not a good person for me. She's really annoying.
He does. He set her up as like some higher being than what she was. And really, she's just like the kind of person who just talks a lot but doesn't say anything.
Exactly.
And kind of collects people. Doesn't, like, not friendships, but like more or less like collects people as like a status.
That was, the spell was broken. Like, he took her off the pedestal and looked at her and said, oh yeah, this doesn't work.
But
like,
at the same time, while he's saying this, all I could think is you and your friends are the same people on a lower level. Like, you and the guys at the record store are the same thing. Like, you think you're better than everybody. You're pretentious, which is all the things he's calling her out for, and saying how critical she is and how she thinks everybody's opinions are stupid. And like, you guys,
he's guilty of it too.
You are actually meant for each other because you're the same person, essentially. Like, you're just as bad as she is.
Damn, this movie's deep, man.
But I don't know if it meant to be deep or like he's supposed to be like the hero of this movie. I don't know. I don't know what they were going for here. Because like I said, I think they are pretty self-aware that he's a bad person.
Yeah.
But they try to make it seem like he gets better, and I don't feel like he ever does. So, that's it with Charlie. And all throughout this, there's interactions with Laura. She's trying to get her stuff back. She's,
There's record store interactions that are usually like the same scene, and they're something that happens at the record store that's setting up for the next point of his progress.
Or they're just like little comedy bits, which I enjoyed. Like, I do, as much as I say they're pretentious like gatekeepers, I love the scene where the guy's trying to buy a Stevie Wonder album for his daughter.
Yes.
And Jack Black is like, do you even know your daughter? She hates that song. Get out of here. And like basically turns down a sale.
I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong, but he did the wrong way of going about it.
Yeah. And John Cusack's like, we're trying to sell records here. Like,
yes.
I haven't made any money. Like, and you're kicking people out of the store. But it's just a lot of scenes of them acting better than the people that are shopping at their store.
Which I've also shopped at record stores around that same time. And those characters aren't made up. Those are real people.
Yeah, absolutely. We get a lot of scenes where he's definitely still hung up on Laura, stalking her essentially. I mean, he's outside of her apartment. She's staying with Ian, and calling her from a payphone outside in the rain, like screaming up to the window, to the point where you can tell that like they're starting to get a little worried about it. Ian is like, I could talk to him. I do conflict resolution. This guy, they could have made him seem like less of a douche.
They could have.
And it would have had a little bit more stakes to it. Because, like, as soon as you met him, like, he's basically a parody of, like, someone else. Like, he's, got the long hair and a ponytail. He's
got the pictures of him with the black belt.
He's listening to, like, sitar music. Like, this is the kind of guy that has, like, a pocket Kama Sutra.
He was no Cyclops. Like, he was a douchebag.
Yeah, like, you didn't feel bad at all. Like, you knew they were going to end up together.
He wasn't the better option.
He was just the foil there for Rob. It was almost like, let's give her a guy worse than Rob so that she'll actually go back to Rob. Because it's hard to go back to Rob because he's such a piece of shit, unless you put like a bigger piece of shit next to him. So, we get all these little scenes, and repeatedly, like, Laura's not interested in getting back together with Rob. You see this. And then there is a scene where, she says, he asks, is it really over? And she goes, there's a 9% chance maybe that we'll get back together. And he takes that as like all right, well, there's still a shot. Like,
yeah, man.
Yeah, and I've been there. It's like, you keep pining and you keep trying.
I just kept picturing Doctor Strange holding up the one finger and being like, in one universe, we survived this.
It works. And I totally glossed over. There's another, like, and I don't know why this was shoehorned in or what the reasoning for it was. We get Lisa Bonet.
And this musician. Is because I remember seeing this movie. For some reason in my head, I remember him ending up with her at the end of the movie. But really, she's not in it that much.
No, she's just a musician that, right after Laura breaks up with him, Dick, the guy that works at the record store, is trying to get him to come out to see a show with them, just so he's not home alone.
Yes.
And he ends up going, and it's her, and she's performing. And he's clearly, like, taken with her.
Yeah, we get the triple sploosh face.
Yeah, from all three
of them are watching her, and they all stop because they make fun of the fact that she's singing Peter Frampton.
Yeah.
And then as soon as she starts singing, they're like, oh shit, okay, I get it.
And I'll be honest with you, I put in my notes, I don't care how hot she is, I still hate that song. It didn't matter to me. Like, it's still a Peter Frampton song, and it's still a bad song. But they have a little bit of an interaction. Jack Black's character invites her to come check out the record store. She does. They don't really ever go out on a date. But then after the scene where Laura says they have a 9% chance to get back together, he immediately goes and fucks it up and sleeps with her. But they never actually established the fact that they had been going out or like had contact after the record store. I didn't get that.
I think this was another scene to make him look like a bad guy. Because this is happening at the same time that he's following Laura around and asking her, have you slept with him? Have you slept with him?
Yeah.
Like, to him, it's so important that she doesn't sleep with this guy. But he just casually has sex with this other woman for no reason. Like,
this guy has a real hard problem asking questions that he does not want the fucking answers to.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so many times in this movie, he's like, well, why didn't it work out? Are you sleeping with him yet? Like, have you slept with him? Like, you don't want the answers to these questions. Like, you're just tormenting yourself.
God, no.
Like, what are you doing? So he goes and he sleeps with her, but nothing ever comes of that. Like, Laura doesn't find out that he slept with her, which one of the few times I'll defend him in this movie. Like, they weren't together. Like, he didn't do anything wrong by sleeping with her. Now, you got to ask where...
He did 9% of something.
You got to ask, like, where your priorities lie. Like, do you really want to make yourself better and try to make this work with Laura, or are you just going to go sleep with whoever? He went and slept with whoever. But it is what it is. And then Laura and him get back together in, like, the worst... Like, just the worst way.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely awful. So he's at the record store, gets a call from her. She is just crying and besides herself because her father died. And her dad always liked Rob, so she wants to know if Rob will come to the wedding. Or not the wedding, I'm sorry, the funeral. Rob does go, and this is kind of like the point where, Joan Cusack kind of tears into him at the funeral a little bit.
But you can tell she's over being angry. She's just like, look, like, you guys got to figure this shit out.
She's not mad.
Yeah.
She's disappointed, which is worse.
And also this scene, We have the lesser Cusack. We have the better Cusack. We get the older Cusack.
We get the dad.
The priest is the
I
dad.
saw that. Yeah. I guess that's the second movie he was in with them. But yeah, so she kind of like guilts him into realizing that like he never really said he was sorry and never really took her feelings into account. And then he is a terrible person. And like that, we get this flip switch where all of a sudden he's a better person. So he walks up to her, everybody's kind of giving their condolences to Laura over the loss of her father. He walks up and says, "I'm sorry." But you get that there's more to it.
There's some heaviness.
He's not sorry. I mean, he is sorry that her dad passed away, but this is like a sorry for everything. Like he has realized that like he never really apologized for being such a shit person. So he leaves in the rain. Laura comes and finds him, picks him up in her car. Real weird move. Takes him to like a place where her dad used to take her and her sister when they were younger, and then asks him to have sex with her. Which I would have been like, you know what? No. Like, I'm cool.
This would have been one of those moments that I would have thought about for the rest of my life. Where I'd been like,
I wouldn't have had any regrets. I'd have been like, I do not want to have sex with you. Someplace where your dad, who still isn't even in the ground yet,
and
took
while
you.
You are obviously distraught.
You're still wearing the funeral clothes. Like, no, thank you. I'm good. But no, they have sex. Then she takes them back and real romantically, she just tells them, like, I want to get back together. I'm real tired and I don't want to fight anymore. Like, I'm just done fighting about it.
I loved this scene. I knew me and you were going to see very opposite.
Tell me why you think this is good. Please. Because
in real life, grand gestures don't really exist. And when they do, they are so fucking forced. This is close. Now, I can't say that I would go about it this way, but I love that in real life, relationships, especially hard relationships, are just, they're filthy. They're not put together right. But this is a relationship, like, I like that they get together. I really do.
I'll agree that this is realistic. And more realistic than not, this does happen. But it's also, this is not a relationship that's built to last. Like, if you are just like, he's basically beating you into submission by stalking, calling, just being around all the time, like constantly harassing you. And now you're just like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, let's just be together.
No, but she also got what she wanted, though. She wanted him, but grown up.
He's still not grown up. So, from here we get, and she says to him, like, I know this, she even says, I know this isn't romantic. Maybe there will be romance in the future with us. But like for now, I just want you to go home. I want to go home and I want to go home with you. Like, please just take me home. Then we get a real happy, upbeat montage where like everything's great now. Like she moves back in. They're having a great time. Like it's like nothing ever happened. Like they're just peachy keen. Wonderful. And he's just saying about how great everything is. And yet he's still not totally happy. Like he doesn't really feel, he's not happy.
Yeah.
And then we get a scene in the record store where he meets a girl who is a music columnist for a paper. She comes into the store, knows him from his DJing days, because he used to DJ.
They hit it off immediately.
They hit it off, and he starts flirting with her when you get the feeling that he's going to fuck this up again. Like, he is 100% going to sleep with this girl.
And this was the big growth they showed. I didn't agree with this as much like as that he doesn't sleep with
That's what I mean. They
one.
got back together. He got what he wanted, and then he gets this.
The lowest of bars is keeping your dick in your pants.
Like, meanwhile, Laura is, like, pushing him to, like, do things. Like, so throughout the course of the movie, he meets these two skater kids who tried to steal from his store. They find out that they have a band, and they're actually pretty good. Like, they're like an underground, like, punk band. So Rob offers to produce their record and release it. And, like, he wants to be a music producer. Like, this is a step for him, at least professionally, where he's showing some growth, where, he wants to do more with music and, like, do something, like, of meaning. So he does this. So, once Laura and him get back together, she starts putting together this, like, record release show for him, where he's going to DJ, and Jack Black just joined the band, and they're going to perform, and they're going to do the record release for these two kids. And all while he's doing this, he's making a mixtape for this girl from this newspaper, trying to get in her pants.
Yes.
But, Laura says, like, who are you making the tape for? And he tells her, it's this girl that is coming and doing a story on the show. And she kind of gives him the side eye. And he thinks better of it. And this is the growth we get, where he decides not to sleep with this girl. Instead, he asks Laura to marry him. Like, this is like just one, like, you're just...
Like I said, it's dumb, but it's more realistic. Like, first off,
I guess
every guy, like, guys, if you're in a long enough relationship with any guy, he's gonna stick his foot in his mouth super hard once every couple years.
That's fair.
So he does it super well in this movie.
Yeah.
And at least she's cool enough with it, because she probably should have walked out.
Yeah.
She's cool enough with it to be like, I know that this guy is for real. He's just so stupid.
Yeah, I guess so. Stupid or a bad person? I think he's a bad person.
Well, he's both.
Yeah. So, you know, he asks her to marry him, and she says no, smartly.
Yes.
But they stay together. And then we get the scene at the end which I fucking absolutely loved. Jack Black's band performs, and he sings Marvin Gaye, "Let's Get It On."
This was the beginning of Jack Black's career.
Yeah, it really was.
Like, it was his first movie, but you would have never heard of him.
It wasn't his first movie.
Oh, no?
He was in The Neverending Story. Either one or two as one of the school bullies. He'd acted in stuff. This launched his career.
This is the one he sang in, and suddenly he was good.
Yeah, like, this launched his career as a kind of this character that he plays. So we get that, you know, we get Laura and Rob are happy together now, you know, and at the very end, he's in his apartment with his headphones on, just like the movie started. He's making a mixtape for Laura, but this time, you know, he's making, I guess this is supposed to show growth too, which it took him all this time to figure out. He says he's going to make her a mixtape with songs that she's going to like. So it's not like he's forcing his music on her.
Yeah, he grew conscious. He's able to think about other human beings as human beings.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
I know you're not feeling it, man.
These two don't last, in my opinion. Like this, they're done a month later. Like, it's going to be the same old shit from him.
If these were real people and you came to me a year later and told me they were still together or they were broken up, I'd say, yeah, I figured that much either way.
Really? Yeah, no, see, for me, I'd be surprised they were still together. Yeah. That's the movie, CJ.
Whew.
Would you like to give this movie any grand gestures? Give it its flowers, like, for whatever it did right, what it did wrong?
First, I will tell you a story. Hopefully my wife doesn't get mad at me, because this is a story about us.
Okay.
I proposed to my wife on a beach in Sarasota, outside of Sarasota, Florida. We were secluded. It was her birthday. Full moon. Beautiful. Got down on one knee. Got engaged. We immediately were cuddling and holding each other on a bench that's on the beach. We're enjoying our time. We're watching the moon. She looks at me after about 10 minutes of this and she goes, "Hey, are your legs burning?" We were sitting in a fire ant hill.
Oh, Jesus.
And had no idea. So the night that we were engaged, instead of going back to our rental and sharing a bottle of wine, we were like rubbing calamine on each other's legs and trying not to throw up from red ant bites. This movie made me think of that because, like I said, love is dirty and dumb sometimes.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like, absolutely. Sometimes when you lose your virginity, birds aren't chirping outside. Sometimes when you get engaged, you sit on a red anthill. That's what this reminded me of, is it's just not clean.
Very good.
The other thing, completely opposite of this, is we always connect these movies to Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
I can connect this movie to Me and You in 3 steps.
Really? Please do it.
Yes. Me and you have a good mutual friend, Gene.
Uh-huh.
Gene is the guitarist for the band Don Caballero.
Okay.
Toured around the world, did all that kind of cool stuff with those guys.
Yeah.
He got the job as the guitarist for Don Caballero because the original guitarist quit to pursue his acting career. And he's one of the guys in the record store that gets yelled at by Jack Black.
Really?
Yes, Ian Williams.
That's awesome.
That's how our friend Gene got his job as that guitarist.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Very good.
All right, that's my flowers.
All right. I don't really have any flowers for this movie, but I would like to give flowers to any woman that knew me in the 2000s.
Oh, God, yeah.
I've grown. I'm a better person than I was before. God bless you all, and I hope you're all very happy. That's all I want to say. That's all I got. I got nothing about this movie. I think I said everything I had to say. But yeah, I did. There was a lot of self-loathing watching this movie. Not even like, I don't think I was a bad person, but like I just saw a lot of the ways like the John Cusack was in this movie and was just like, ugh.
Yeah, Yeah, it made you think about yourself a lot.
I think I was like that at one point or another in my life, and I wasn't proud of it.
He was an unrepentant asshole.
Thankfully, I've shown
you can
more.
look back and see yourself being that unrepentant.
Yes, thankfully,
asshole.
I've shown growth, unlike Rob in this movie.
Yeah.
So, shall we turn this chick flick into a dick flick?
Hell yeah.
I'm going to go first on this one.
Hit me.
Because I feel, and I want to put it out front right now, I feel like when we did the Tu Wong Fu episode, I kind of blindsided you because I decided not to turn that movie into a dick flick. And I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to let you do yours first and then do what I'm about to do.
I've thought about this every night since that's happened.
I'm sorry. This movie, while it is a romantic comedy, I don't think this is a chick flick. I think this movie is 100% made for guys. Like I said, incels, guys that aren't really developed. Like, guys watch this movie and go, yes, this is a great movie. Like, I love this movie. This is a rom-com that I can enjoy because of the way it is. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this dick flick into a chick flick.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Because I feel like there are things that could be done. First of all, we're going to take Tim Robbins' character, Ian, and we're going to turn him into a nice guy.
Okay.
We're going to maybe replace him with James Marsden. We're going to make him a likable guy who has a lot of great qualities, who should not even be close to competing with John Cusack's character. He should be head and shoulders above John Cusack's character in every single way. He's a developed, smart, caring person.
Okay.
Who Laura should be with. All of these women that he has dated from his top 5 list, he goes back to find them, and they're doing great. And he is just so sad that he's not with them anymore because he knows that he fucked up. He fucked up every single relationship. Every single one of them has a valid reason to not be with them. They've flourished. They're married, kids, whatever, you know. If that's not like their ideal life to be in, like maybe Catherine Zeta-Jones' character is like a big-time designer now, and she's happy, and everything's great for her. And he kind of starts to see, like, God, I am the problem. I'm the problem in every one of these relationships. I'm the worst person ever. At the end of the movie, Laura stays with James Marsden. Because John Cusack was a fucking horrible person to her. Like, there's no reason in hell she should go back to be with him.
Yeah.
So what, this takes place in Chicago?
Yes.
At the end of the movie, John Cusack goes up to the platform for the L train and just throws himself in front of it. Because he knows that the world is a better place for women everywhere without him in it.
You know, a scene that happens often in chick flicks.
And that's how I would turn this dick flick into a chick flick.
Way to spin it around.
Yeah. I just couldn't do... I mean, like I said, this movie was not made for women. It's not a chick flick. Yes, it's a romantic comedy. Not a chick flick at all. This movie...
I was hoping that argument would come up. Definitely not a chick flick.
No.
It is a romantic comedy, and it is for the guys. It's for the incels.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick with the original objective here.
Please do. I'm sorry.
Well, only because while I was watching this movie, there was one other movie that just kept popping up. And it was also about a young brunette man that broke the fourth wall a lot and talked to people and was a complete sociopath.
Deadpool?
Patrick Bateman.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, Deadpool didn't have hair.
So if you've ever seen the movie American Psycho...
I have. Another incel movie.
I wanted in this movie, after he breaks up, he goes, hey, I need to call my core group in. I'm calling my cousin Patrick in. And instead of breaking the fourth wall as much, he's telling these stories to Patrick. And Patrick Bateman the entire time is just taking down notes like, oh yeah, where does this girlfriend live? And they're disappearing one at a time.
Oh my.
Until he finds out that he has been feeding the American Psycho all of his victims.
Okay.
They end up in a great battle in the end, fighting each other. Okay. Fists and swords, guns, knives, all that shit.
Chainsaws.
But they just constantly keep stopping the battle to each talk to the camera.
I can't believe this guy's kicking my ass as bad as he is right now. Can you believe it?
Yeah, and then he walks over and goes, oh, whoa, that's my shot. Like, and he starts talking to the camera. So that's what I want. I wanted the American Psycho version of this movie because I kept thinking about American Psycho the entire time. But in American Psycho, they tell you right off, this guy is a sociopath.
They have a lot in common when you really think about it.
They really do.
And both probably just real big in the incel community.
Huge.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's fascinating. Yeah. See, I love that. See, we can do our own things. It's fine.
Yeah.
We can coexist just going off track and staying on track, and it shows growth on our parts, I think. All right.
This whole podcast is about growth.
That's right. Like I said, I couldn't believe I loved this movie as much as I did back in the day.
I just want to go back and give myself a hug and be like, dude, you'll get laid. It's okay. Like, you'll be all right.
All right. Let's Nick Cage it.
All right. Should I go first?
You can go first.
I mean, I think we know where I'm taking this already. Like, it's always a little obvious. Of course, it's got to be Tim Robbins.
Okay, yeah.
With the wig.
Yes, yeah.
Like,
he'd be great in that role, too, I think.
He'd
play that so well.
He would have been great in that role, and it's a quick one. He could be in and out. Except for, like, during the sex scene. Not the sex scene with her, but, like, when they're listening to him through the... I just want his voiceover, like, pounding through the floor. Like, yeah, great, bend over the dinosaur skull.
Oh, God.
All right, but that would be my Nick Cage.
All right. This one, so I could have very easily, which I've already done in the past in a longer way, connected John Cusack right to Con Air, right to Nicolas Cage.
Yes.
I chose not to take it that easy, and I also wanted to use the better of the two Cusack. So I went Joan Cusack.
Oh, you didn't go Daddy Cusack?
I didn't even know. Honestly, I don't know what else. He was only in one other movie, so I didn't even look to see what it was. But Joan Cusack is in another movie with John Cusack called War Inc. All right? War Inc. also stars Marissa Tomei.
Okay.
Marissa Tomei was in The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke.
Okay.
Mickey Rourke was in Once Upon a Time in Mexico, the sequel to Desperado.
Weirdly good movie.
Rodriguez.
I'm into that movie.
I love that movie.
Okay.
So he's in that. Eva Mendes is in that movie as well. She plays the love interest in Ghost Rider.
That's right.
With Nicolas Cage.
Wonderful.
And that's how I did that.
It all comes back around.
Let's rate it.
Let's rate it?
Yeah, you go first.
I'm giving it between like a 3.75 and a 4. Like, I like this movie. I will watch this movie again at some point in my life. And I'm sure that I'll see it in a different way when I see it.
Yeah.
Which makes it, in my mind, a good movie. I'm going to give it a 4.
All right.
4.25.
Wow.
Yeah. I like this movie
up.
a lot. Maybe there's still a little incel left in me.
If there's not, would you like some?
Oh.
I'm just kidding. So this is tough for me. But I am going to rate this highly. I think highly.
Yeah.
3.5. As much as I looked at this movie and looked at the reasons I liked it when I was younger and didn't like the fact that I liked it when I was younger, I was still able to like it now just for different reasons, I think. Like, yes, Rob is a horrible person, but I feel like the movie puts that right out front and center. Like, you're not supposed to think Rob's a good guy.
They don't want you to believe that he's good.
I think that when I was in my 20s, I thought Rob was a good guy. And I don't like that, but I can't rate the movie badly because of that. That was me, not the movie. I like this movie a lot. The acting is great. John Cusack is incredible in this movie.
Agreed.
He's an asshole, but God damn it, does he play it well? And he's still fucking likable at times. Like,
I tell you what, 15 years, we're revisiting this.
I think
we're gonna watch this again. We're probably gonna have a whole different perspective.
Yeah, I just. And like I said, the music is fantastic. The acting is great. All the performances are great. I dock it for anything. It's just like, I don't think they should have ended up together. I don't think they're a good fit. I think they did the character of Laura a disservice for so easily falling back into this awful relationship, which is shown to be awful right from the beginning. Like they don't show you really any good parts of this relationship. Like, maybe if they would have shown you like what it was like leading up to the breakup, or like anything about like why they were in love in the first place, I could have seen it. But he was a total shitheel the entire time. So why did she go back to him?
Okay.
So I take points away for that. Other than that, I just, good movie, man.
Yeah.
3.5.
I agree.
All right. Let's pick our next one.
Let's we're on a roll here, man. We had Sex and the City last week, which was a good movie.
Yeah.
Can't believe I say that out loud multiple times now. We've had this movie as a good one, so let's get another one. How many? We're up to, what, 202 still?
206 now.
206. All right, I'm hitting it. Number 50 even.
Ooh, let's see what it is. Oh, I'll tell you what, CJ. We're gonna give a shout out, but I'm gonna have to help me out here. Your brother's wife,
Amy.
That's her name. We just hung out a little bit with Amy last weekend for St. Patrick's Day, and she made a suggestion for the list, and we just rolled it.
Really?
And there was some debate as to whether or not this was a chick flick.
Ooh.
The Princess Bride.
That's what we're watching.
We're watching The Princess Bride, which I know that's a good movie. I enjoy that movie quite a bit.
I can say the only times I've ever seen this movie is because a woman has asked me to watch it.
And you know what? It was added to the list by a woman.
Yes.
Chick flick.
We're doing it.
Yes. So please, until next week, like I try to say every week, please check us out on Spotify, Apple Music, rate us, review us, subscribe to us. Contact all your ex-lovers in an awkward fashion and tell them to listen to the podcast, because I'm sure they're kind of wondering what you're up to nowadays. And until next time when we do The Princess Bride, please stay romantic and don't be shitty to each other.
I've been really trying, baby.
Trying to hold back for so long.